It's your girl, Queen of Coco, back in these social media streets, ready to discuss Baddies USA. This is part two of the AI fact check where we really get into the questions that I have. Child, you hear some little sniffing in the background? That's my dog. I can't get him to stop. I had some great food tonight and he just keeps searching for it. He just Thor, sit down. Stop it. Sorry about it. Anyways, so we're gonna get right into this fact check. And if you didn't watch part one, I really need you to go watch part one because it really sets the foundation from the first episode. I just cannot do the review for the second episode until I really break this down, but it really does set the foundation where we talk about the distinction between or the parallel between Natalie and Tanisha, and how Tanisha was escorted onto the show with bodyguards, just like Natalie showed up as the baddie CEO. She was featured first, but Tanisha came in second, warmly greeted by the ops. The ops being Bree, being Persuasion, being Sarah, and I'm not sure who else is against Natalie. But basically, and I'm sorry because I be relaxing after work and that's how I record this. But anyway, but basically we're gonna break down because what I want, I really was confused as to why we had all of these founders and what really has taken place. So it made me feel like with them bringing Tanisha and her coming in with a security seeming to have somewhat of equal footing, I was wondering, does she? Is it something that we don't know? So that's what we're going to get into, child. But we're going to take it all the way back from the inception, going back to BGC, because I was trying to figure out, about the creation of baddies, how is all of that legal, and that's what we're going to deep dive into. It's the AI deep dive, child, or the AI fact check. And I want to say all of this is allegedly only because AI can get things wrong sometime, but most of the time they give you resources, child, that if you go look it up for yourself, you could double check what I'm saying, what the AI gave me. And if I'm incorrect, then just let me know. So let's get right into it, child. So the first question I wanted to know is because, and the reason why I asked this question is because everybody is staking so many claims on the conception of baddies, when really baddies is to me a like a spin-off of Bad Girls Club, even though it's not the same thing because we're well, kind of. We did have the fights and stuff like that, but not to the level it is now. Not with the jet setting, it is a little bit different. However, to me, it's kind of like a spinoff. So I was interested because I'm like, with all of these claims, child, let's get into who the original creator was. So I think that's something important to know. And I am a reality TV girly, so I like to come with the facts. And if you're not concerned with it, I'm concerned with it. And I want to make sure that we're all educated on what has occurred in the past. So anyway, my first question was, who created Oxygen Bad Girls Club? To which AI responded, the reality television series Bad Girls Club was created by Jonathan Murray for the Oxygen television network. Some of y'all are not old enough to remember Oxygen, but this is before Zeus, where, it was TV on the edge, child. It was innovative TV because we were addicted to Bad Girls Club, and this is where Natalie comes from. Murray co-founded the production company Bunham, excuse me, I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, Bunham Murray Productions, originally Bunham Murray, with his late partner, Mary Ellis Bunham. The company spearheaded the reality television genre and is known for creating other series such as The Real World. Not only The Real World, child, they created The Challenge, and some of y'all are not even going to know that because this is the pioneering days, is what I'm going to say, of reality television, where it was Road Rules, Real World, the pioneering days and the challenge. If you don't watch the challenge, child, you're not a reality TV lover. But I love reality television. I just wanted to establish this point to say that at its core, Bad Girls Club is not was created by a totally different producer. This in Natalie's days on Bad Girls Club, along with the other ones, is what the wave that they're riding to create this new, how can I say, a new genre, or kind of like a spinoff. So after AI told me that, who the original creator of Bad Girls Club was, because in my mind, I'm like, why are they fighting over something that they're really not the creators of? I'm just really trying to figure that out. I don't know if you were wondering that. But if you're young enough, you don't even know BGC. So you're thinking Baddies is a whole new thing. But and then I can't tell you, I don't even know if I should tell you to go watch it and binge it because it might be too old for you. But if you want to know who Natalie Nunn was during those days and how long she's been in the game, it may behoove you to go watch the seasons of BGC. So you can know, like, and along with the other founders, I don't know about Founders, child. I guess Founders of Baddies, not Bad Girls Club, but Baddies stems to me from Bad Girls Club. So I don't know. I don't. That Founders thing is weird. I don't know. So anyway, so then I asked, well, how did Natalie Nunn acquire the Baddies rights to make a show on Zeus? Because if the man created Bad Girls Club, Jonathan Murray, how was it legal for her to do so? So AI tells me that Natalie Nunn did not acquire the rights to the original Bad Girls Club from Oxygen Benham Murray. Instead, she created and executive produced a new series called Baddies on the Zeus Network, which is an independent production inspired by her time on the Bad Girls Club. Notice that AI, what's in these Google streets, is that it was inspired by her. Not all. Not all. So this is coming from her contract negotiations with Zeus and her take on how um Bad Girl Club, her experience on Bad Girls Club and how she's lending it to baddies. So it's not all, it's a her experience. Which, if you're creating whatever, it is going to come from your experience. But we're gonna get into it because it feels like Bree, as I mentioned on the part one, she's disputing that she's the baddie shot o'clock creator. So it feels like there's some discrepancy, and that's why I'm trying to wonder, like, who did they raise this claim with in terms of them bringing the founders back. So then it goes on to say that the creation and airing of Baddies came about through the following process. And this is if you want to learn, child. Some of y'all ain't interested in it, you're just interested in the fights. But it's okay to know the background. And this is my corner of the streets where I kind of want to know the information. So if you somebody that want to know a little bit of the facts or the alleged facts, this is where you need to be. And I would love to hear your commentary or what your opinion is on what the AI has had to say. So anyway, it says that the initial digital content, the concept originated from an unofficial Bad Girls Club reunion that was initially intended for only fans, followed by an episode of a show on Zeus called The Conversation. And y'all remember The Conversation, child, because now Tommy did her time because it kind of was pivotal because you had Tommy and Akbar and their beef and a few other people. I forgot, was it Ray J that he did The Conversation? Then he kind of disappeared for Zeus. I'm not even going. Let's just leave Ray J out of this. Anyway, let's move on. But I believe that was the beginning days. Not the beginning days, but somewhere kind of the beginning where Ray J came in was doing the conversation. So it says that recognizing the potential, Natalie Lund partnered with the Zeus Network and its CEO, Lemuel Plummer, to develop a new show. None developed is what it's saying. So they made what this giving me is that this whole crew, the so-called founders, did do a stint on OnlyFans as a reunion to the Bad Girls Club favorites. But somehow that broke apart. Natalie continued on and worked with Lemuel or Lemmy to come up with her version based off her experience to develop Baddies. This to me is how it's reading. If it's not reading that way to you, then you just let me know. It says Nunn developed and became an executive producer for the new show, which was titled Baddies, and its various iterations like Baddies ATL, Baddies South, all of which we've watched. The show features several other former Bad Girls Club cast members, which notable, like I said, I don't remember Persuasion. Go back to part one. This is part two. But I somewhat remember Jayla. I somewhat remember those twins. A little bit remember Sarah. But I really am being honest, as far as a controversial figure on BGC, Natalie was unforgettable. She was. Whether you liked her or you didn't. And as I said on part one, I didn't. Now, was she entertaining? Yes, I could compartmentalize and separate that out. But I wasn't necessarily a Natalie fan in the days of BGC. But here we are now. And I have to give credit where credit is due. And I'm just going off of how the AI has analyzed Natalie's position or um, her, how can I say it, her creation of Baddies. So it goes on to say, which I think is really important, is as far as from a legal standpoint, it says that Baddies is legally a separate franchise and this is described as a spiritual successor. I should have looked up what spiritual successor means. I did not, but it says that it is just a spiritual successor to Bad Girls Club. In most cases, Ben and Murray got so much going on. They produce so many hot trending shows. That man is known as the father of reality television. That this was nothing, he probably just let it go, especially given the fact that I believe Jayla and those twins had sued them. I wish none of that would have happened, where they could still, who knows if I don't know if they have that relationship with them or not, but I don't know. It's given gracious to me on the Ben and Murray side. That could just be me. Nevertheless, because we don't know what's going on in the background, I'm just an outsider speculating. Nevertheless, it says that this is not a direct continuation using the original show's intellectual property. And I would have to agree, because we saw some fights, but we didn't see this amount of fights. And there are some differences in that Natalie kind of travels around with the cast. They were just in one house, like the real world. So I would agree that it's not exactly the same thing, because Zeus raw programming it doesn't have the near the restraint that Oxygen Network had. Nevertheless, we're into it. That's no tea, no shade. I'm just pointing out the difference. Zeus is almost borderline guerrilla filming. I'm just gonna say. Anyways, it goes on to say that the rights to the Bad Girls Club trademark are owned by O2 Holdings LLC, while the Baddies trademark is owned by Zeus Networks LLC. Did you catch that? The Baddies trademark is owned by Zeus Networks LLC. So let's keep it moving. It basically goes on to say that Natalie effectively leveraged her fame from Bad Girls Club, her fame. She leveraged her fame, meaning Lemuel recognized Natalie as I recognized and remember Natalie and saw her as a good person to work with to develop the series. So she leveraged her fame to create a new successful franchise on a different platform, working as a creator and executive producer under contract with Zeus. So she's a creator and executive producer, but who owns the rights is Zeus Network. So then my next question was based on this last episode, it seems that Baddies, the latest episode on Baddies USA, some of the original bad girls or the original OGs is what I'm calling them, the old OGs, are disputing that Natalie is the creator of Baddies. And I wanted to know, is there some dispute, a lawsuit in the background? The reason why I asked this question, because I'm like, there has to be something going on for all these founders to be out of all of these seasons where we've seen a few bad girls rotating in and out. There has to be something going on for them to bring all of these founders on this episode. What has prompted this? What has prompted Zeus to make it appear as if Tanisha has an equitable position as Natalie? So AI answered, yes, yes. There appears to be an internal dispute within the cast and the production regarding the creation of baddies. So the AI analyzed what I saw. Now, I don't know how I know it, but it knows it. It says, which has been mentioned on the show, while external lawsuits have targeted the Zeus network for other reasons, such as the Viacom lawsuit over Bad versus Wild. Child, I saw that coming from a mile away. This is the thing is about that, and I'm not going to go off the rails on that. And it's no shade to Nick Cannon because Wild and Out, we know how successful it was. But Bad versus Wild, I couldn't personally stick with it. The set looked like the other set, so I could see what they're talking about. But I don't think the content even rivaled. I get what they were saying with each group coming against each other. It wasn't like they was ragging each other down, but it was definitely similar. But it was disorganized and less. I know that there are some black intellectuals and creatives that they could have got given a check to really define a authentic game for the existing uh, Zeus Network family to participate in that would have been entertaining. I'm gonna leave that there. But every time I watched it, I was like, the set is so gorgeous. We could tell that he's figured out or knows the context to set this up. But the content of the show was greatly lacking. Like we see that tomfoolery. Yes, that is kind of like the Zeus brand. But for a game show, it needed more structure. Really, we're not that. The total audience is a variety. I don't know if they're doing their research. They have enough money by now to see what the demographics are, to not just assume that the those of us who are interested in mess are not also interested in other things. Anyway, this is not a critique on Bad versus Wild, but while we was on the child, I seen that coming from a mile away. But nevertheless, it says that the court, there's no lawsuit that has been detected, but the court issue over Baddie's creation appears to be a production conflict rather than an active public lawsuit between Natalie Nunn and the original cast members. But at this point, if we go off of what AI has revealed before, could there really be a lawsuit against Natalie? Because Natalie created it. I don't know if they were fully present when her and Lemmy came up with the full concept based on her experience with Baddies. And she's also sold the rights to Zeus Network, which is a very pivotal thing. a significant thing. So it further breaks down the situation where it says official credit per the show's credit and official statements from Zeus. The series Baddies is created by Natalie Nunn and Tanisha Thomas. That's what AI say. It says, let me read it one more time. Per the show's credits and official statements from Zeus, the series Baddies is created by Natalie Nunn and Tanisha Thomas. Nunn also serves as an executive producer. So Tanisha's back. She's been in the background. We're going to get to it because I got further questions later on. But are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So in terms of cast claims, this is also what AI points out. They say that some cast members and former cast members have claimed that the idea was more of a collaborative effort or originated from the initial digital only reunion concepts, which some suggest was not entirely Nunn's idea or was a scam for fans. The recent on-screen disputes in Baddies USA are part of ongoing tension, often leveraged for dramatic effect within the show's narrative. So it could be one or two things. We know that there's some disputes about the original creation. I still got some concerns about that. I know when they started the OnlyFans, but to me, we only saw Natalie after a certain point. So when did each person kind of fall off? And if they weren't there for all of those seasons where she was using her likeness to um, set a tone, to what extent are they responsible for the creation besides the initial discussion? I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there. But then the other thing is that this could just be for dramatic effect. And I'm all for if that is the case, they're going ahead and bringing the other people on here. But I really think it's something more to it. It's something of brewing. I could be wrong, but it could be just for dramatic effect. Where Zeus is known for the drama, and this could just be another storyline of drama and nothing more to it. Hopefully so. But in my opinion, it's not giving that. So, concluding out this segment, it does say the Zeus Network officially owns the Baddies trademark and intellectual property. The show was developed in partnership with the network after success of the initial conversation episode. I'm just going to leave y'all with that because we're at 20 minutes in. I was supposed to break the previous part one up into multiple episodes, but I just didn't have time. This one is just as long, but it's a lot of information in it. We're not done with the questions. I didn't get through them all. So there will be a part three. If you want to learn more, tune in. For now, I'm out. It's your girl, Queen of Coco. I'll holla.